Hey guys, so another video, another rant or advice, or I don't even know what to call it anymore. It's basically me just talking out loud. So I thought I was going to answer a question that a lot of people ask, and even specifically to me actually. So a lot of people who are getting into programming will ask, what programming languages should I focus on, or what should I learn to be a good programmer? And that's a very open question. I have, in a previous video, tried to answer that to the best of my abilities. The essence of that answer, it was to kind of go with the view, if you look at from the perspective, how do I get a job as a programmer? Like the fastest way for you getting a job is to go to the whatever employment site, like your job posting sites that you have in your region, and look for what people are asking for. Look for what companies are looking for developers or programmers, and check out what the requirements for the different positions are. That will give you a very good idea very quickly. But in this video I would like to focus a bit on how I think you are going to become the most, what languages to learn in order to become the best programmer that you can possibly be. So first and foremost, if you have absolutely no prior programming experience whatsoever, you never programmed ever, then the absolute first thing you should start by learning is JavaScript. And this is actually true whether or not you've never programmed before. JavaScript is the first and foremost language that you should learn. The reason is pretty much that it's a hard requirement in order for you to be able to do web work. So that's the first programming language you need to learn. And if that is where you're starting, you're going to learn everything you need to learn to do front-end development, and with Node.js you're going to learn everything you need to do server-side development. So with that one language you will be in a great position to do web work or professional web work. Now, depending on your region, Node may or may not be a popular type of thing. You can absolutely get a job as a front-end developer, but depending on regions, I mean, here in Gothenburg the community or the demand for Node.js work is fairly low, but the demand for front-end JavaScript is fairly high. But it's a good starting point. It's the best starting point in my opinion, because you're going to be able to do the most amount of work, the broadest range of things with this one language. The second language I would like you to take a look at, because once you learn JavaScript, you should know everything that you need to know about the web and how servers work, how web pages work, all that good stuff. So you can make a website, your own website. You can make, in essence, you can make Facebook or YouTube or whatever. You can do that with just this knowledge. The second thing I would like you to take a look at is C++. And now people are going to ask me, wow, why C++? It's so old, and it's like this it's a hardcore language. And I kind of say, well, I would even go as far as to say just start with maybe even C. Learn C or C++, pick one. C is really hardcore, and take a computer science course. There's some really great initiatives by the edX platform and learning computer science and so forth. The reason why I want you to do this is because it's going to give you an understanding of what is happening under the hood. So one key thing to know is that in order for you to have a holistic understanding and a sensation of security in your knowledge, I think it's very important that you learn concepts such as pointers, memory, how that works, the null terminator, or these concepts and how all of this is stored at the hardware level. And C and C++ are the closest thing to this you'll ever get. And through using these languages, you will understand what a compiler is, you will learn what linking is, you will learn what machine code is, what bytecode, or not necessarily bytecode, but you will understand these different concepts, and you will learn why there is, or rather what these other higher level languages are trying to solve for you. In essence, these languages were created, like, because don't forget, like C and C++, they can do everything that all the other languages can do, and they can do most of these languages, like JavaScript, is built on C, or the engines rather are built on C++. The V8 engine, for example, which is the one that you're using for Node, and so you can, as you can imagine, this is the language that your language, like JavaScript, is running on. So as you can, it's very good to know this stuff. And frankly, if you get really good at C and C++, you will be able to apply for any job that has to do with embedded systems and so forth. But this is not the reason I would suggest it. I would suggest it because it will make you a better programmer. Definitively, it's going to do that. And lastly, I would recommend you to learn either C# or Java. And the reason why I would recommend these languages as these is because they are the corporate languages. They have for many years solved the problems that the corporate world have been facing. They are a product of solving large-scale system problems like messaging and all of these different things like SOAP and struts and the different architectures. All of these things were pretty much solved before these younger languages came along within Java and C#. So I think it's healthy for you to get a taste of what corporate life may or may not be. The definition for corporate is changing. The corporate world are like they're getting caught up in the language trends, but it's very good for you to get an understanding of these things. So those are the 3 languages I would say, but don't take this as a definitive list. Like you should strive to learn the syntax and the thought behind a new language at least once a year to keep on improving. But if you're just starting out, this list will give you the maximum, in my opinion, bang for your buck. If you know these 3 languages really well, you will probably you will most likely not learn that much from the new languages that you are adopting. You're simply going to recognize things. Well, there are going to be new things, but you're going to see a red thread between these 3 languages and all other languages on the market. And I think that's going to be really helpful for you in your career.